Toot, toot. Just a warning.
Tracy, you're on the floor. Tracy's on the floor. Let her up.
Just a warning to everybody watching. Everybody seems to be in a weird mood, except Luke is normal, and I'm just a little sick. And then Tracy did that, and she froze herself. I tell you, these people on the show need to get shit that works.
That's weird.
That's what?
Hey, quick basketball update today about Mikey today. All right. He play. Everybody asks me why he doesn't start and everything. One, he's learning. He's getting better. Yes, he's 7th grade. He's 6'4", but he's getting better every day. But he plays the center, and the center that starts is like the best player in the division. Like he's one of the best players in East Tennessee. Beautiful. So today he got in for the fourth quarter. In the fourth, played 4 minutes, 4 rebounds, 4 block shots, 2 points, 1 steal, and he broke a kid's leg.
He broke? Like, are you saying with his awesome dribbling, he broke a kid's leg? Or did he land on the kids and he got a spinal fracture?
This kid like jumped up to try to get a rebound and hit Mikey and fell to the ground with a broken leg.
And you're laughing about this.
Well, I mean, you don't jump into a wall.
Man, this is why we have a hard time selling our movies across the land, is because we're just twisted. Now, where are you going? The one girl flaked out, and now you're taking a tour of the damn crib. It's Cribs. What are you doing? You got a phone. Oh, that's great. Is Lenny Kravitz calling you?
Hey, Lenny.
Tell Lenny Kravitz that Lisa Bonet is gone, and she's never leaving Jason Mimosa. It's over.
The mimosa. We filmed a really funny ass bit about Jason Mimosa about 1.5 years ago, and I don't think you ever put it together as a bit.
It was the beginning of the coronavirus, man. Everything went crazy. I can still find the stuff, and actually, this is exciting. Big and Funky East, Candy and Justin have come up with their own comedy video, and we're going to put it on the.
It won't be funny. They're not funny.
Oh man, I don't know. Candy's pretty good, man. Candy's a little weird.
Candy's weird. She's like avant-garde funny.
Yes, and that's why I love her the most, because she also has equipment that works on a podcast.
Yeah,
and I will give Mikey 2 barks of the Trumpacorn.
From
Trumpacorn. This is always my dog loves this damn thing. He always looks around like, who's in the house? Like he doesn't. I don't know.
Shit! Hey, I forgot to get this pizza out of the oven. Give me a minute.
It is everybody's deal.
I'm so sorry. Today. I know. I'm so sorry. Give me. Knock me out for a minute.
Oh my gosh, Luke.
Yeah, we'll take him out. We'll replace him with Tracy. Tracy, what are you doing now?
Are you still about to?
All right, good deal.
Hey,
this is like a tournament, and I'm going to win because everybody's shit sucks tonight. And I've had a major illness. But a lot of developments happening. We're about to have a let's see. Now Tracy's looking upset that I took her out. Let's see if she's back here. Are you back? She's not back. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, major development. We have finalized. We're going to have a WJHC premiere in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Woo! At midnight on the 29th. And we're going to debut our horror comedy horror about Y2K. So, everybody talks about stupid crap like Die Hard is a Christmas movie and Elf is the best Christmas movie and Christmas Story is the best Christmas, but there's not any good New Year's Eve movies. Not many. Can you name one? I had to look one up, and it's like there was like the best rated one was like a Japanese movie or something. So we have an opportunity to make a New Year's Eve movie be the best damn movie, and it's about blood and butts and boobs and Jesus and hypocrisy and somebody screwing a sheep. Little, if you're a little weak about the animals, PETA, you probably won't like that scene. But other than that, it's very religious and kind of hypocritical and weird, and there's Jesus in it. Let's see what she's doing. What are you doing? It looks like you're playing chess against a Russian. Okay. Okay, man. I'll tell you what, man. Everybody sucks today. Everybody's getting a deduction from the check from Big and Funky Productions. We need to call Mike and Hack and Candy to get in here. Save this shit. Somebody got a pizza in the oven. Tracy said she got to back out. Thank God.
Is here.
Sheena, thank the Lord. Have you seen this shit? Luke's got a pizza in the oven. Amber you can't hear what she says. Tracy's shit don't work. She says she's got to go out at 43 after because she's got a baked potato. And look at you. Now you're looking goofy as hell. All right. We got a guest on the show tonight. We will get to him here in a few minutes. And we will give him a squeak of the old trumpet corn. Now Amber's shit don't work. Sheena, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you great.
Well, I can't hear you. We might as well try this with 10 cans next time. So we got a guest we'll be talking to here in a few minutes. He is a professional wrestler out of Chicago. So we're going to have some wrestling talk tonight. A lot of people know that me and Luke met each other in the squared circle. We were running Great American Wrestling, and lovely Sheena was one of the people I never knew about, and I saw her on the TV broadcast, and we were producing the show for 6 months before we got fired. We had a good time with it. Nobody else liked it that was a wrestler, but we fucking liked it. But anyway, Sheena Shakespeare. And you know what? I've said this before when Sheena was on the show, but I didn't really respect women's wrestling in the area. And Sheena, along with Nina Monet out of Atlanta, and Lenny Stratton's wife, what's Nicole Payne? Is that her work name? Yeah. Her and there was a friend of Nina's, a black lady down in Atlanta who was a heavy set lady, but she was rude as hell. I loved her too. In fact, we put Nina Monet and her in the main event on one TV show, and we had a couple of races say you can't have two black ladies in the main event. And still to this day, it was the best match of the 6 months. And we had some good matches because Sheena was always involved in a good match. And but we had some, and I wrestled too. Oh, here's Luke. Are you back?
No,
we got
Nina Monet versus I can't remember her name either.
That's what I was saying.
Dementia DeRose. Dementia DeRose.
Yes.
Was the highlight match of Great American Wrestling.
Did you know she had her eyeball taken out? Legit, the doctor had to take her eyeball out. That's why she wears a patch now.
Cool.
I haven't seen her since we did the show.
I don't think she's as active in wrestling as she used to be.
Well, I guess not. She don't have a damn eyeball.
Yeah, that was actually
just promo pictures. So
Nina or who? Nina or the other one?
No, Rose, Dementia Rose.
I had a small crush on Nina.
Yeah, Nina. We were like, hey, after that match, we're like, hey, can you come back next month? She goes, what day? We just told us the day. She's like, nah, I'm doing customs. I was like, you're gonna do customs over this? And then she's like, and then she told us how much money she made, and we're like, you go. But she, Troy Lowe booked that. I know a lot of people hate Troy Lowe, but he booked hers that had the giant afro, and she was kind of like that blaxploitation, basically like a Pam Grier character. She wore the tight red cop pants and stuff. I was a big fan of her. And then now Nina's doing the crazy ass like a voodoo thing or something. Like she's got weird dreadlocks and stuff. But we have a wrestling show from Chicago. Luke started his wrestling career in Chicago, so they'll have something in common. And this guy is a filmmaker as well, so he's a kindred spirit. We have Brandon Bishop in the chat, who's a wrestler, a musician, and a filmmaker. So we've got a lot of the same ilk in this group here, and we will get to this man here in a minute. But I was talking about the premiere. You guys looking forward to the premiere on the 29th?
Most definitely.
All right, and coming up, Sheena?
Yes, me and Ray.
Beautiful. Yeah. Which one's Ray?
Did you say which Ray?
Which yeah. I'm just kidding, man.
The long-haired one.
The long-haired. Oh, okay. The other one you're leaving back in Chattanooga or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you do everything you can to make this premiere, this is going to be a great thing. But we also just been added to Hack does horror film festivals, and we've been added to that one, which I think is later in January in Knoxville. So that's going to be cool as well.
That'll be cool, and they're going to have all those horror hosts like the Son of Svengoolie and Elvira types, and they're going to sit there and talk and watch the movie together, almost like a Mystery Science Theater gimmick. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Do we all go to that?
I'm going to go to it. Probably.
We're all.
This is the thing on the 29th is the premiere,
right?
And so we're all going to dress up and make out and all that stuff and grab each other's buttocks, and then and that's going to be midnight. It's special for us, but it's also for $10 the general public. We're going to be on TV next week. Which one is it, Amber? You booked this one. WVLT. We're going to be on TV talking about. We're going to get the general public to fill up the place. And I want to say Jesse Lunsford, who's only in the movie for a minute. He plays guitar. He actually plays a straight country gospel song in this. He's the bus driver.
As opposed to the gay country gospel songs that are in this?
I mean, let me put it to you this way. I'm editing this movie. Even the serious scenes, people are dying laughing watching. The serious country gospel, actual spiritual stuff is actually touching. And I hate country gospel. That's where this movie exists. But the country gospel songs, it adds this strange element where you've got all this hilarity. You've got a guy who's totally perverted who keeps touching his nipples and the sheep screwing and boogers and blood and butts and boobs. And then the country gospel song brings it back and it grounds it for a minute. And that's what in wrestling, we all know this. You bring things up, you bring it down. Same thing with storytelling. You got to have a peak, you bring it down to kind of, so it's not just a constant, oh my God, this is just an insane thing. But anyway, he played this country gospel tune in a movie, and so did Amber. Yours is more of a hymn, I guess. But his is a her? He paid, right. Have you tried the hymns? It works pretty good, by the way. I'll send you the email, the hymns pill. It's good for 4 hours.
Yes, it's fantastic.
You saw how long I did that. That's a good indication right there, ladies. Don't get too excited. Yeah, Tracy looked around like, how long is it? Pervert. Anyway, but this guy didn't have to. Now he's the guy that performs with Steve Martin and Martin Short in their live shows. And he's the bus driver. Shoot story. This isn't made up. But he actually bought everybody's ticket. He paid for the house. Yeah. So this actually not only is just a fun thing, this actually can become a fundraiser because everybody knows we have had investors for our films, but me and Luke are in the red about 17 grand. And it would be cool to get some of that back. We are in the black for this movie and the next movie, but making movies is expensive. So get people out there, and we're not going to make a ton of money. This StreamYard thing costs $25 a month. The money goes quick. So nobody's getting rich off this show, but it would be nice if people came out and supported local people about a movie about the Mid-South and the Southern, what is it called? Smoky Mountain Chronicles. I named the damn thing, and you think I would know. But I do want to say, before we bring my man on here, and we will get him on here in a second, he's waiting anxiously and probably regretting wanting to do this. But Sheena in her first acting job, especially the fight scenes at the end, oh my God, you will not believe how cool she looks. You will not believe how cool she moves. You will not believe how cute she is.
And that booty. And then Tracy, good grief. Tracy does such a good job at portraying the actual woman her part is based on, which is my station manager who I tried to kill.
I do such a good job pretending to be a raging bitch.
Well, I think that we may get trouble. I think people may actually know who you're trying to portray. And it's my fault because I didn't change the name. So I probably should have changed the name. I couldn't think of a name better than Nancy. It's the worst name of a white person I've ever heard. I already took Karen, and Kevin's pretty bad because I know a Kevin that's a child molester, but Nancy's a terrible name. And if you have children out there named Nancy, at least you didn't name it Daenerys Stormborn. But Nancy's a bad name. So, but anyway, you do a bad job. You're so good at this. You're so good. Everybody's so good in this movie. Arlo is good. Amber is good. Everybody in the damn movie. 83 people in this movie. Damn good.
Dang.
Except for those two extras. Fuck them. God.
The extras sucked. That's why they deleted a lot of.
That's why they were extra.
Well, they were extra bad.
Right.
And if you're out there watching this, I love you and I'm glad you did it. But I cropped your ass out of the movie. You might see your little fucking pocket there. But you look, so if anybody doesn't know, man, so we're doing Act Surprise. There was a guy over there going, what in the world?
Wow.
I'd love to see this dude.
It was just so precious. We couldn't say anything to him. We were just like, "Great job! That's
There's
wonderful."
There's a snake on the floor. It's a coral snake. It's going to bite you.
It's jazz hands.
Jazz hands. He saw the jazz singer or something before, and he came in. But anyway,
Hey, giving lots of money at the door at the premiere is big dick energy.
damn, that's a pretty
Wow.
damn. So you're crocheting a dick.
You're into some weird shit.
It's an art piece,
This is why
and it's
Tracy's-
functional because it holds my black foam roller.
It's functional.
Yeah, it holds
just
my
said
black
a
foam
crochet-
roller.
You said
Like-
a crochet dick is functional.
It's
How
an
do you
art
know
piece,
that?
and it holds something.
The penis don't
Oh.
hold things, baby.
Great.
You need to go back to.
It
You need to
Look,
go back
look.
to your class.
Certain mornings when you're folding laundry and you're hanging shirts, that's about the only thing it holds. That's a couple.
Are you auctioning this off at the premiere?
Amber, breathe.
I
Amber,
can.
breathe.
I could. Actually, I could make like smaller ones for the premiere. Yeah,
Do you
I
remember?
could make hand-sized crocheted bones of contention for
Make it feel
like
almost
people who.
Two honks of the trump of corn for the giant crochet dick. Now,
Oh, come on! Donating is big dick energy.
okay, honey, we gotta see. We got people in here. They're all up. They're all sorts of upset. If you think this shit's funny because Tracy's on the team because she crocheted a giant penis that holds. What is that? A giant Alexa? What's in there?
No, it actually cracked your back. It's a black foam roller.
A black.
If you were into exercise as much as like you said you were going to get into exercise, you would know what that was.
Wrestlers need that. I need that.
Oh, speaking of which, we'll get our man Wade in here in a second. We'll talk about this. I know Luke don't like talking about wrestling straight up, but you heard Jeff Hardy got sent home from the WWE.
Yep.
Yeah,
I gave a shit.
I know, but I'm just saying it was because it's substance abuse related, and that's the thing. The one thing that Luke and I we'll talk. We'll bring Wade in here, man. Let's get him in here. So Amber, you booked this guest, and so he is a professional wrestler. He is a funeral worker. He is a filmmaker, and he's from Chicago, where Luke got trained, and Luke lived in Chicago for years. And you're from Chicago. And this guy sounds like our cup of tea. So let's bring him in. Anything else that we should know about Wade?
No,
Do you know
I
how
think
big his penis is? Did he send you any of those pictures?
Is his
Well,
last name Wilson?
I can't tell yet. I mean, I don't see pictures and tell. I'm just saying.
You're good that way. That's another reason why you're on the team.
Let's just say I need one of those the dick covers.
Are your children home tonight?
They're upstairs.
That's what I thought. Without further ado, my man Wade.
Do you need your prayer rug?
Well, how you doing?
Wade, what's going on, my man?
Good with you.
Hey. So you're a Chicago guy too, huh?
Yep, absolutely.
Where'd you train up there?
I'm actually training with Steve Boss, CSW.
Oh, Steve Boz, he was a friend of mine at one time. I trained with Sonny Rogers and Jimmy Blaze
Okay.
all the way back in '94. But I got Boz in trouble with his girlfriend one time. He came down here to Gatlinburg and was at a bar, and I was like going over, said something about a ring rat from 10 years earlier, and he's like, his girlfriend got mad. She like left. We had to hunt her down. I was like, oops.
Uh-oh.
Steve Boz. Well, Steve Boz. What's funny about Steve Boz is he looks from 5 feet away and further. He looks like Shawn Michaels, or he did back in the day. And like he'd go to airports to go to wrestling shows, and people would be like, "Oh my God, it's the Heartbreak Kiddies!" To the point where he just starts signing autographs. You know, he just.
That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do with Robert Downey Jr. Man, when the Iron Man came out, I was all the time. Yes, I'm Robert Downey Jr.
No, it wasn't. No, but yeah, you can't get trained by anybody better than Steve Boz, man. Steve Boz, and because he's a body guy, man. He has you not only has you training to wrestle, but he'll get you in shape.
Yeah, he's excellent. I love working with him.
Yeah. So how long have you been training? Are you working matches too?
Don't believe it or not, I just started.
Okay, so back bumps.
Well, you're on the right. You said you're on the right path training with Boz. It doesn't get much better than that.
So how long have you all been wrestling?
Oh, I started. What you said? I started training with Sonny Rogers and Jimmy Blaze in 1994.
Okay.
So it's been a long time.
Sheena, what have you been? You've been 20 years, haven't you?
It'll be 18 in February.
18. I'm the baby of the group. I only been wrestling for 13, I think. And we have a match on Christmas, which I don't know why the hell.
What are we doing?
What is the sick line that I call in when I call out that morning and go, I can't make it.
Y'all were grossly underslept when you agreed to that. I shook my head at you. I was more underslept than y'all.
Yeah, we were on a road trip and we were about 20 hours in coming back from Myrtle Beach, and the dude's like, "Hey, you want to wrestle on Christmas?"
Where you're mad at me? You were like, we were on a road trip to a ghost show down in South Carolina, our Wrestling with Ghost show, and then Luke's like, they want to book us on Christmas, and I was like, I don't know, and Luke was like, you never do anything fun with me anymore. All right.
And from the back seat, I'm like, this is a terrible idea, guys.
We're old as shit. We haven't wrestled in a couple of years. This is gonna be awesome.
I climbed the steps.
What show is it?
ETCW. Yeah. I just actually my son's basketball game was at Eagleton, where me and Vinnie wrestled in front of 600 kids, and Vinnie. Well, actually, Vinnie wrestled. I didn't wrestle, but because we're doing this thing where I was doing commentary for his matches, and I'm walking around and I mic'd him up, and he comes out. He's got like huge microphones all over him. He's trying to wrestle with the microphones.
Yeah, it's funny. I had like all sorts of audio devices. It's like he's trying to break in his new technology so that people that watch the video can see what it feels like to be a wrestler. And I was like, it was encumbering during the match. You know, we do funny stuff as a.
So how many gimmicks did you all have to come up with?
We just, since we record stuff, there was this microphone was part of it. It was stuck in my back. And then I had headphones, and I had wires, and I had like all sorts of like little black boxes and stuff. And so the finish of the match was me getting hit with our own shit. So.
Yeah, well, and the story was that like I'm his tag team partner, and I'm holding the camera doing commentary, and he's getting the shit kicked out of him, and like three guys are jumping him, and he's like screaming in the camera, "Would you help me?" And I'm like, "No, I can't, man. I'm recording this. This is good stuff. Help me!" We do comedy wrestling. It's
well when we need to.
I've never really had to have a gimmick because I've got tits and ass. So
you do. You really do. Now, Wade, my friend, where you work at a funeral home, man, right?
Yep. I've been doing that for 11 years.
Like, do you dress bodies, or you just like set up chairs? Like, is that?
Well, I don't do any dressing at the place that I work, but I actually did go to school to be a mortician.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's one of those jobs that it's like there's not a lot, there's not a lot of competition for those jobs. You can but yeah, that's what was cool is when Amber over here told us that you were into that, I was like, man, we chase ghosts. This guy works at a funeral home. This is the kid that broke a kid's leg and scored and blocked shots all day today.
You're geeking too hard. You're geeking too hard for breaking a kid's leg, but I will give you $2.
Maybe he should be wrestling today.
He probably will be. He's only 13. He's 6'4". I think if football and basketball don't work out, he'll definitely be wrestling.
He's too nice.
Yeah, he is. He's
too nice. I'll tell you something. Wrestling Luke. Even when he grapevines you to pin you, it hurts. It's
I can't help it.
Well, I'm just saying I can't imagine since Mikey's already 6'4" at 13.
Yeah, He'll probably be taller than me by his freshman year. That's
What's weird about Luke, and this next time you look at this. Luke is 6'8", but Luke has short legs.
Mm-hmm.
If he had regular sized legs, he'd probably be over 7 feet tall.
And this kid is got regular sized legs, so he's like I said, he's a freaking beast.
I hope his legs don't stop growing and the rest of him keeps growing.
That's what happened to me.
It would be 2 generations of awkward.
Now,
I'm built like a midget.
You heard me, Luke?
What's up?
Who was your favorite wrestler coming up?
Oh man, when I was a kid, Bobby Heenan and Gentleman Chris Adams were my guys, and then when I got into wrestling, it was The Undertaker. And it was cool. Is the last match I wrestled was right around Halloween, and I did a favor for one of our guys, Mikey. Would you knock it off? I did a match where I dressed like Jason Voorhees, and I just wrestled like 96, 95, 96 Undertaker, and that was I usually don't mark out for stuff, but I was like, this has got to be what it felt like, man. This is cool. Crowd was scared of me. I was. Yeah.
Well, Wade, who's your favorite wrestler, man?
So for me, it would be Kane, Road Dogg, MVP Carlito, currently Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
All right. So how old of a guy are you?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in February.
So you were watching that stuff you were watching when you were a young little guy there, the MVP.
Yeah. It kind of felt kind of weird to see Kane retire. It was.
Well, hell, we see a lot more of him. He's at every. He's the mayor of Knox County down here. All of us live right next. Yeah,
Knox County adjacent.
And any day you can go to Yassine's Falafel House and see Glenn Jacobs sitting there eating falafels and gyros. And
yeah, Sheena, who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Lita.
Lita, yeah.
One of us made out with Lita.
Shut up. One of us had to go get her egg-free egg salad.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. One of us made out with Lita, and when I mean made out, I'm talking like I'm trying to be a gentleman. And then one of us had to go get Lita egg-free egg salad.
Vegan
Rockville or Rockport,
vegan,
Illinois.
No, it was in Romeoville, Illinois.
Romeoville. I knew it was
Romeoville.
Yeah.
I would love to meet her.
Well, one of us did more than meet her.
Well, no, I will tell you she is what it comes down to is when I knew her back when she started training, she was boring. She was boring. And then when we wrestled the show with her in Romeoville, there we drove up to Chicago, worked WrestleFest 7. That didn't change.
She was the most. I swear to God, man,
dull.
She was terrible. And so, like on our TV on our network, Aside TV, where Wrestling with Ghosts is, they have a TV show with Amy Dumas, who's Lita, and Brandon is friends with her, but he's like, dude, she's when the cameras are off, she's just like over there, like looking down. She must be depressed all the time or some shit. I don't know.
Well, what was great is
ruin it for me.
Well, there was
ruin it for me.
There was like this complete white trash old ass pickup truck with a camper lid on it out back of the venue, and we were joking about like we drove it up from Tennessee and all this shit, and it ended up it was hers.
No, she had a camper. She had one of them Class C motorhomes.
No, man, that was not hers. The one that was hers was like a 1978 Dodge pickup truck with a fucking ancient camper top on it.
I don't know. I don't think that's true.
Now, do you all follow AEW?
I got once I stopped wrestling, I got out of it. So that one above me might be able to talk more about that. That's not.
We are very weird. We like performing wrestling, and we like to be a part of it when our bodies were younger. But I can't stand watching it. I can't. I haven't been able to watch wrestling, to be honest with you, since like 1990. There was a point when like The Rock and Stone Cold was around, and you had the Radicals. I like that. And Booker T came over. I'm a big fan of Booker T, but I can't watch this shit, man. Now, what's weird is I've started listening to Jim Cornette's podcast every week because I feel like he does. I'm old and I like old school wrestling, and what's weird is I don't know anybody he's talking about, but it's starting to get me. He's excited about AEW and he's excited about CM Punk and he's excited about Daniel Bryanson and a few other people. And it's made me want to start watching because he says it's believable. I think that's the biggest problem. You know, Luke and I do a lot of comedy, but we do it because the card needs it. We'll identify everybody's doing a straight matches. Everybody's doing 40-minute matches. Everybody's doing hardcore matches. If that's the case, Luke and I will do something funny because the crowd needs a break. It's not that we just don't have to do that. But it feels like with sports entertainment, it's just you got bad actors doing bad comedy, and that's not
now Wade. He brought up CM Punk. I got to ask you. You know, like CM Punk came up after I had been in wrestling for about 3 or 4 years. The LWF came around, CM Punk came around, and yeah, I'm sure. I just want to know when you started hearing the stories about how he really is from people that knew him. Did that kind of make you go, "Damn it"?
I haven't heard like stories about him personally. I mean, from what I see on TV, he seems to be pretty cool though.
Yeah, nobody that knows him likes him at all.
Well, there's definitely two. There's two different camps about CM Punk, definitely, and there's a lot of people saying he's saving AEW, but the ratings really aren't going up. So, but what he's doing, I heard, is good work at least. So it's not his fault. But
I'd be more interested. I'm a big fan of Bryan Danielson.
Well, he's turned heel in a very cool way.
Yeah.
Recently, the thing about Punk though is the people that are watching AEW, the people that are watching it are into it. But I always thought, man, if you lose a legit fight, I know we're in a world now where everybody knows it's choreographed and all this stuff. But if you lose a real fight on television, man, that meant you were done in wrestling. Like you were toast. And so Punk going out and getting his ass handed to him in the UFC
by a jobber and a reporter.
Yeah, it just made me go, man, this guy is hurting the business still being in it. But he cuts a hell of a promo, and but to me, it'd been like, dude, don't go do that UFC stuff because he never was a fighter. It's one thing for Lashley, who was a wrestler, to go do it. It's one thing for Lesnar to go do it because Lesnar is a badass, and Lesnar was a amateur wrestler, and so, but. If you're not, there's definitely in wrestling, there are performers and there are people who are shooters, and there's people that are hookers. Amber,
I like back in the late '90s when a couple guys that were early UFC guys that were real badasses like Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn came in, and they put it over. They've lost matches. Ken Shamrock not so many, but. They had lost some matches, but they still had an air of like those are scary motherfuckers.
They also didn't get killed on the matches they lost. They just would lose the fight. It wasn't like, oh my god, this guy can't throw a punch.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Wade?
Have you all ever met Shamrock?
No.
Cool back in the day.
Yeah.
I've never met him. I always thought he was a weird dude.
Yeah, our problem is when we meet wrestlers. And some of them were peers of ours back in the day, and made it big. And some of them are, but we treat everybody the same. Like if you're the guy at your first show, or if you're Billy Gunn coming into or somebody like that coming into one of our shows or something, we treat you the exact same. But if you're a dick, we tend to then lay it on. Like there's some guys that really don't like us. Ricky Morton's not a fan of mine at all, and. Ted DiBiase he will not be in the same building as us anymore. So
I don't know about it. Well, we just like having fun, man. So we just enjoy ourselves sometimes a little too much.
Were you all amateur wrestlers too?
I got into amateur wrestling, and when I was, I did, I think it was 7th grade, and I accidentally killed a guy. So I didn't do that anymore.
That was boxing.
That's probably
it was. We're working on moves and stuff with boxing gloves on, and I accidentally punched a guy in the chest a little too hard, and he died.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
I was in judo for years. I won a state championship in judo one year, and one year I didn't. And that's, if you ever watch our movie The Hike, there's a story about how I got disqualified, which I didn't know. That's a good origin story for a bad guy wrestler, to be thrown out of a judo tournament for. They said I was trying to break this guy's neck, which I was like, why didn't he tap out? And they were like, you can't basically do a camel clutch where you get a guy by the neck and you just start pulling his neck backward over his spine. And he later was heard saying, I would have tapped out if I thought about it, but I was afraid my neck was going to break. So I got disqualified with that. So I was like, that's a good wrestler origin story. Did you ever do any shoot fighting there, Sheena?
No, there's plenty of people that wanted me to start doing shoot fights, and I was like, no, not at all. No, thank you. Especially now, there's no way.
Well, amateur and stuff. You ever did any of that?
I had a chance in high school, but I got too nervous and I didn't go to the first practice because I made the team, but I didn't go to the first practice. I wish I would have, though.
Would have been good. What about you, Wade?
Actually, I did, and I'm hearing that most people that were amateur wrestlers have trouble with pro wrestling sometimes.
They do. And I noticed that with a couple guys that I trained that were amateur wrestlers that came in, it was like it didn't feel natural for them to actually not put pressure on, and even simple things like roll ups and arm bars, things that they're used to actually putting pressure on. It like they'd go over and just even do a hip toss on somebody, they would just blast on them, and it was like, whoa, easy, man. That stuff really fucking, so that's the secret of pro. This thing that people always say, they blow out kayfabe and say wrestling is, choreographed and everything like that. But man, just a little bit extra pressure, and that's devastating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you can't.
It's been a bit of a challenge for me, like trying to be a little more loose.
It's all about trying to find the balance. I mean, everybody works different ways. Yeah. Some are touch to touch. Some are very snug. Some work some don't work. Some are using full strength. Some can't work. So that's the thing about, I don't know, you haven't been in wrestling very long. I mean, the one thing I would say, my advice to you at this point, man, you're 29. Don't let anybody disrespect you. Always go in there with full respect. But if somebody tries to take advantage of you and you think, is this guy taking advantage of me? Is he trying to make me look bad or anything like that? Stand up for yourself. If somebody potatoes you one time, you potato them back. If somebody chops you, like a lot of guys, I don't know how it is up there, but down south, you get these old fuckers who'll all they do is chop. And so if a guy just keeps chopping on you because you're green, chop, turn them around and chop them back, because they'll stop. It'll get them to stop.
No, that's something I've seen a lot over the last about 10 years is people, taking advantage of a newer guy, or they or even just totally shooting on him in the ring. And then I've talked to some of those guys, and I was like, why did you let him do that? Oh, he's a veteran.
Right.
So what?
Yeah, it's a fine line. It gets real weird, man. You just got to make sure you got to take it. You got to take up for yourself.
Yeah, Vito and Paulie Tomaselli are pretty much our guys, and they don't. You start shooting with them, fucking with them, you're done. Yeah. I mean, there's that's the end of it.
But I mean, for him being green, I'm worried about people taking advantage of him, because I think there's some guys that like taking advantage of.
Well, he's all, but like I said, Vinnie, I don't think Steve Boz, but when you get a lot of respect from who your trainer is.
That's true.
And Steve Boz is also a guy that, like, down here, people don't mess with Chase Stevens because he's got the amateur background. He's a body guy. And if he's, if you're one of Chase Stevens guys, you worry about Chase Stevens also, you're going to have to deal with that. Steve Boz is a lot like Chase Stevens. They're very, very similar guys. I think Boz is a lot more laid back.
Yeah.
Chase is laid back. I think Chase works the workers. I think he's one of the few guys that actually still works people.
Who's feeding back?
I don't know.
Who's feeding back?
Let's see it. Maybe Tracy. Whoops. Wrong button. Oh. But I think that's better. I think. Nope. Let's see. La. That might be Sheena. I don't know.
I hear you.
Okay. But I think Chase still works the work. Like I said before, man, the only people get worked in this business anymore are the workers themselves.
Yeah, that's why Ricky doesn't like me or Vinnie that much, is because we figured out. Well, he doesn't like me at all. But we figured out that he works the workers. He comes in, acts like a buddy. You buy him beer. You pay for his dinner. You give him a ride. You give him But that's I don't disrespect that. That's. It's a weird thing where I respect that. That's something you should do. You should work the workers. Our last wrestling program was us. We played the old school guys that were against all the flippy wrestling, and we did promos and everything where we were just rocking down on the flippity dippity doo, jumping around wrestlers, and wrestlers had legit heat with us. They were mad, and we're like, really? You don't know what
this is to draw money, and who do you think's going to win in the end? A bunch of old assholes that are making fun of you, or do you think we're going to let you guys go over? I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like nobody knows what the fuck's going on in wrestling. That's why I don't care to be in wrestling very much anymore, because people have gotten sideways. It's all become about moves. When you get in the back, when you're in the back and you're watching guys watch, the wives have taken a cell phone camera and they're watching these cool moves. Look at this, look at me. And I'm like, nobody cares. How many times you go to let me ask you this, Wade. When you go to the circus, how many times they shoot the human cannonball out of the cannon? How many times?
Like once.
One time.
Yep.
So if I see an awesome move off the top rope, the second time I see it, I'm gonna be like, that's pretty cool. The third time I see it, it's like, well, there we go again. Everybody must be able to do this. By the fifth time, it's gonna be like a headlock. So if you go to the floor in the first match on a card and you hit somebody with a chair, you're not letting any of your other friends or any of your other fellow workers any opportunity to go anywhere. The first match should be technical. Headlock, takeover, leapfrog, wrist lock, some sort of pin that comes out of nowhere, something like that. A finish, clean. If you start bumping the ref in the first round, you're using fire, thumbtacks, hitting somebody in the first match, you're not letting anybody else on the card have their shot.
Well, now
what's the guy in the main event going to do? Cut a dude's head off with a chainsaw?
No, I haven't. I only wrestled one match in the Midwest in the last 20 years, and Funk, you were there. But back in the 90s, like I bumped the ref in the third match, and I got back to the locker room, and they laid me out, man. They just let me have it up and down. Oh yeah, way to make the ref look like a superhero. And this is the most over ref that's you're ever going to see, because you laid him out, and then he just gets up and keeps reffing the rest of the show. And I was like, yeah, I fucked up.
Back in the day, man, they used to Bill Watts and UWF, and anywhere that Bill Watts booked, he would find the wrestlers for. It's an old timey term in wrestling called middling the ref. If you put the ref in the middle of a situation and feature the ref, you will get fined. And when you watch TV, the refs are always they're supposed to be the law. You're not supposed to touch them. They're supposed to have authority. But when you're bouncing them around and you're cutting the legs out from under them, you're doing the sport a disservice. When you openly cheat in front of a ref and get away with it, it sucks. But now we've gotten to a point that nobody really cares about the rules. The legal man could get pinned and
baby face throwing closed fist punches
in the first minute, stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. But Anyway, I don't know why we're preaching at this guy. He's our guest. So tell you make films, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Pornographic films, I heard.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So Amber lied to me. So what kind of
well,
movies?
then you won't like our movies because there's.
No, I mean most of my movies are just like little love stories, like pretty basic. Yeah,
love stories.
Yeah.
Dude, how do you? No. Now I'm intrigued.
He makes love stories,
dude. How the fuck do you?
Love stories.
How the hell do you write them? Do you write them too?
Yeah, I write them. I direct them.
I can write death, horror, drama, suspense. I do not do love, man. I can't do it. I just can't put it in. I cannot film it. I can't write it. There's something about it. It just it's like I'm just like, all right, can we get some lesbians in here? It's just,
Luke don't know nothing. Luke goes, this is how Luke writes. Step 1, here comes a girl in the room. Step 2, she takes her bra off. See, he has no step between point 1 and 2. That's good. What kind of? So where do you have your films featured? Are they on YouTube or you got them?
I'm actually Vimeo. I didn't want to use YouTube only because I feel like it's a lot going on over there. So I wanted to try something a little different.
So what did you say? I spoke over you. I think. What did you say?
On Vimeo.
Oh, Vimeo. You can have movies on Venmo.
Vimeo, not Venmo, you idiot.
Oh, jeez.
Cash App. You're on the OnlyFans.
No, I will tell you, Wade. After releasing our first movie on Amazon Prime, we are actually thinking of putting the second one on OnlyFans because Amazon Prime, 600,000 views, $24.
That's not the real numbers, but it is about something. It's about that lame. But we're gonna put all our shit on Amazon Prime because that gets you the most exposure. But like it is tough. We do live in a day and age where people cannot sell albums no matter how talented you are. People cannot sell movies no matter how good they are. It's the rich has gotten richer. The thing our little mantra is that we're trying to make as many as we can for cheap and hopefully start getting people with money to go, okay, these guys can make a pretty good money for $4. So let's I
mean everybody's a filmmaker nowadays,
Yeah.
Well, man, the thing that kills me is a damn TikTok. I hate them couples that are like, there's like a really hot girl and a guy, and they're sitting there dancing and shit. And it's like, why is this on my feed? You're not funny. You're not creative. You're lip syncing shit.
Well, that's we got this friend, Spaceman Jones, Davian Bristol. He's in his song. One of his rap songs is in our first movie, and he plays a very important character in the second movie. And he does production stuff for his urban combat wrestling out of Asheville, North Carolina. And his wrestling promos and things look better than Hollywood movies.
Right.
And he doesn't use much equipment, and that's I'm jealous of what he does because he's like we put a lot of time and effort and money into our stuff, and he's just like a natural dude, and it just looks awesome. So I'm like, I want to try to convince him to make some movie. I want to convince anybody that wants to make movies to make movies because it's not as easy as it sounds, but it ain't as hard as it sounds.
Yeah, that's true. Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm muting Luke right now because we don't need the competition. But yeah, man. So where can we see one of these great love stories? Because I'm in the mood tonight, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, it's not gonna take you that far now.
Come on now. I'm lonely.
But yeah, my channel on Vimeo is Wade Filmmaker 3 7s.
777?
Yep.
Wade Filmmaker.
Wade Filmmaker 777.
777.
That's
Is that a really why the triple triple sevens there?
Not
you,
why.
Well, I mean, it was just You know,
Wade
because you know what? That's my email, so I kept it simple.
Hey,
you
Amber,
in the-
can you put that in the comments? Can you type that in the comments?
I'm doing it.
Oh, Vinny's got it.
There we go. He put WAD first. I was like, that's not right.
That it?
That's gonna take you somewhere else.
Well, back in the 60s and 70s, back in the 60s and 70s, if you had a wad, that meant you had a bunch of cash. But then
Yeah.
that kind of got ruined by like Peter North in the 80s.
Yeah. That's old pimp talk. A wad or a roll.
It's jazz talk, man. It's not pimp talk. It's jazz talk.
You don't know.
Now, how long have you lived in Tennessee?
I've been here 22 years.
About the
I
same.
think.
About
And I
the
think
same.
everybody else was born here, weren't y'all?
Yeah,
No,
I was.
Where are you from, Amber?
I was born in Georgia.
Shut up.
You're white trash.
I
Now,
am.
Sheena, I thought you were from Georgia.
I'm a
No.
Georgia peach. I'm juicy, okay?
Me juicy.
Ew.
When you say that, you can't blink. You got to work on your confidence. You went, I'm juicy. You can't do that. You got to be straight. I'm juicy. That's how you.
Ew.
I hated that I had to say that, actually. That's kind of.
It's not a good word. Yeah,
All right, I
juicy's
actually
not a
put
good
a
word.
bunch. I'm actually an asshole because I put a bunch of stuff that wasn't Wade filmmaker. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Wade filmmaker 777. Part of it is
On Vimeo, not Venmo, you fool.
Vimeo.
They shouldn't have made it so close together.
Now, when you all were wrestling, did you all ever win any titles?
Oh
All
hell
the
yeah!
time, baby.
Look,
Got to
I
deal
still,
a lot of damn time.
I still got one hanging behind my head right here.
I got a
Oh,
bunch of. Let me tell you something. When I win the belts, they give me the damn belts, man. They're like, we can't do it. Me and Luke held the longest rating KFW tag team champions of all time, and when we lost the belts, they fucking got rid of them because they were like,
Well, that's the story going into this match on Christmas. I'm the first ever ETCW heavyweight champion. He's the second ever. Wait a second. That means I lost it to you.
That's right.
You son of a bitch. And
And
then I
y'all
think the
know
third.
Well, let her talk. What?
I am the first female champion at KFW.
Nice.
At KFW?
At what belt? What
At
belt?
what belt?
Yeah, the heavyweight championship.
The female championship.
When did you win that? 1991,
2017.
2017. Now
Maybe.
they don't have that belt no more, do they?
Yeah, Kenzie's got it. Kenzie Page has it.
Oh, okay. We should come back. We should form a stable. Big and Funky Productions. We come back. We get El Gordo Gringo. We get Tracy to knit us a big old white cock to write in on, or crochet us a big old damn.
That's actually a whole gimmick that I already have in place and waiting in the wings in case you ever ask me to do a wrestling thing.
You're coming out as a big crocheted penis, or
No, like I already have a gimmick for in case we want to do a gimmick where there's a wrestling ring somewhere nearby and I am there. I already know what I'm going to do.
You're so thin. If you got near a wrestling ring, you'd break all your spines.
That's why it's hilarious.
You know what's weird is we got this group, Wade. It's the Big and Funky Productions, and it's there's a lot of us, but like 3 of the people in here that none of them are on here, but own wrestling companies. You know, we get Davion and Hack, and and we're not booked on any of their shows.
Right?
I don't want to be. I tell them not to book you. Don't book. Man, I don't want to sit here and tell tales out of school, but probably 5 out of the last 10 matches we went to, you got hurt, man. I'm just trying to save your old ass. You're too fucking tall and you're too fucking old. Old people can't do that shit. You see what happened to Andre the Giant? Man, he couldn't lift a beer can at the end of his life. Dude was like, 40 was lifting.
He should have used bottles.
It wasn't because of wrestling either.
Yeah, wrestling did not help Andre.
Yeah.
Right.
But I know he had a disorder. But I'm talking about big guys don't live long in wrestling. Like Big John Studd and all them dudes, man. All the big King Kong Bundy and Yokozuna
I love King Kong Bundy. I love King Kong Bundy, man.
So Sheena, you're wrestling in Ego Pro, right?
I am.
When is that happening?
This Saturday, the 11th.
Oh, you're wrestling against that punk ass Jake Kamathis, right? No, you're wrestling Hairband.
Hairband,
baby. I get to wrestle a guy. Fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, you get to wrestle Hairband.
Well, I wouldn't call Hairband a guy. I mean, we're doing a promo here. I mean, what is it? I wouldn't say he's quite reached guy yet.
I mean,
he's a cosplayer. I saw him at one of those. We were at a convention or something, and he was like wearing a top hat and like steampunk glasses, and he had a cane, and he came over to me and he was like, "Well, hello, Sir Funk, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Is that your real voice?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know if you were really that fucking weird or what.
Nah, man, that dude's taking bathroom selfies in Speedos while he's oiled up on Instagram, man. I don't know. It's weird.
He's proud. He's worked hard. He's working out really good. He's taking care of himself. He's taking better care of himself.
Now, when you all were wrestling back in the day, did you ever get to meet the Undertaker?
Yeah, but it was back in when the WWF would come into town, they'd wrestle at the Rosemont Horizon, and Sonny had a bar down the street. Sonny Rogers had a bar down the street called Shaboom's, and all the wrestlers would come there afterwards, and we'd hang out, or we'd lift weights with them the next day. But it was nothing like I wouldn't call. I think I had longest conversations with Kevin Nash than the Undertaker. He just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of weird to walk into Mr. Undertaker, sir. Can I can I spot you on the bench?
So, yeah, but you still try to hit on Vicky Guerrero.
That was funny. That was funny as hell.
Oh.
And she shot me down so fast. She knew exactly what I was doing.
Hey, wait, before we go, man, so you're in the funeral business. We have a paranormal show we do for Asai TV as well. Called Wrestling with Ghosts. Being in the funeral world, have you ran across any spirits or denizens of the night?
No, never. And I mean, I spend the night in there, never.
Whoa.
Did you ever see that? Yeah.
Are you supposed to spend the night in there? I mean, do they pay you for that, or you just something you do when you got the key?
No, I mean, somebody has to be there all the time. So
really?
No, you ever see that TikTok video where the dude's walking through the funeral home and he's singing hey, what's the matter with that? And then he's like, somebody else goes, hey, and it's one of the funniest damn things.
And he takes off running. Yeah.
Well, man, I hope we're going to pray tonight, Wade. We're going to send up the funk all the way to Chicago, and we're going to try to get some sort of ghost to come up and get under the sheets and move around and freak you the fuck out. Man.
Tickle your toes while you're sleeping. Ah!
Yeah. Like we sitting there drooling. You're supposed to be a security guard for the night. Have somebody untie your shoes or something like that. Like, drink a cup of coffee, which has happened to Luke. So anyway, let's get back. So the 29th, we got a premiere, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee at midnight. WJHC AM, the second movie. Big and Funky Productions is going to be there in its full uncut glory. If you were in the movie, you will be in this cut. I can't promise that on Amazon Prime's cut because there's a lot of stuff we got to cut out. But there were so many great performances, and I want everybody who took time out of their day to come up and be in the movie to be in it. I may have to cut Sheena out completely. I hope I don't.
She's the third lead. You can't cut the third lead out of the movie.
She's the fourth lead.
So brokenhearted.
I know. You're on the poster too. And you even turned around like I asked you to, which I always appreciate women that turn around when I ask them to. So, isn't that right, Tracy? So,
you ain't asked me.
I did that one day.
I don't recall.
I
wasn't wanting you to anyway, so it's okay.
Nah, that's not what you said that day. Well, we won't tell No, you got to try to get people to go to your church. You got to be all nice on TV.
Potato.
Oh, I forgot your mom watches this shit. Oh, she's great. She's great.
Mama only watches this when I remind her and send her a link ahead of time. I've stopped doing that now because I don't want her poor ticker to keel out on her.
Well, we ain't gonna say nothing that offends us. You act like we're a bunch of motherfuckers.
I had to send her flowers after one episode because I made
you
fun of Sam.
You chose to. Your guilt drove you to it.
I respect her. The Sam Hugan. We make fun of Sam Hugan so much. Wade, do you like Outlander,
Ewan.
Wade?
Hewan, like you're clearing your freaking throat. Hewan,
Sam Hugan. He's
Like
a
you're
female
sneezing.
softcore. He's a female
you're
softcore porn
sneezing and you
actress.
got like this phlegm like right back here.
Hey, he's
Wade
a
is never going to want
softcore-
to talk to us again.
softcore porn actress.
Wade is laughing
Same-
his butt off.
Yeah, he's embarrassed.
Are you embarrassed or amused, sir?
A little bit of both.
All right. That's fair and valid.
Wade, thank you. Hey, and I'm on Facebook as Vinnie Vineyard. If you look up Funkmaster V, send me a thing. We like making friends that make films all over the. I don't care about your damn wrestling. I care about you as a filmmaker, man. So send me a link and stuff, and I'd like to see some of your work, especially a straight. Well, I don't know if you're straight or not, but a black, strong, proud man out of Chicago making love stories. I'm all about it. So send me the information. I want to check it out.
I definitely am going to check some of those out. Wade, like he said, Wade, man, you're awesome, man. You're the best guest we had. That's because Tracy didn't book you.
You can't say that because other people who've been our guests watch the shit.
No, they all sucked.
No. What about the guy that was
Anybody watching now?
the guy that was the whiskey guy was great.
The moonshine distiller.
Yeah,
I didn't participate in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
that guy was.
that-
Wasn't there-
There was a couple really bad ones, and there was a couple guests. Wade,
I
I
can't be associated with alcohol.
Wade, I'm not even kidding, man. There's been a couple guests we've had where they've gotten off the air and had a panic attack. So congratulations, because we're so assholish, and we all love Jesus, huh?
Well, I love him too. That's good. That's good.
I was wondering.
Jesus is looking at my PlayStation 5 right now lovingly.
He's crying about it. That's what he's doing. He's crying like
It's
old
because-
dusty tears.
It's because Jesus plays the Atari. He don't want to play that PlayStation 2 jive. He's like,
Give me my NES cartridge.
you don't need more than 8 bits to play
Give me the
video
precious
games.
life.
If you look in the Bible, do they play PlayStation 2 or Atari? I rest my case. It's all Atari. They were all playing Atari. The 12 disciples, they were playing Pitfall and Combat. They weren't playing whatever these rape games you guys play. The 3D rape games, right, Luke?
Yeah, this is going to be you.
You steal somebody's car and rape them, that's what all this PS5 stuff is about.
They're gonna put a new book in the Bible for you. It's gonna be the gospel according to Vinnie. No, according to Vinnie.
Oh yeah.
Wade, did you have fun, Wade?
Oh yeah, it was nice. I mean, I definitely appreciate talking with you guys, and
Thanks for dressing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I just like this all the time.
He was like, that was before I knew you.
When I start an insurance company or a real estate company, I'm going to hire Wade first. Look at that dude dressed.
I appreciate that.
8 o'clock at night.
put him in the
Central Time
training
Zone.
The training documents so that people think that we got diversity and stuff.
Oh no, he's at the funeral home. He's working.
No, it's like that's why we just pay him like $50 and we'll put him in the training video for Big and Funky when we need to do like Big and Funky and you. This is your HR video.
Oh no, not the HR video, man. It's got a
I'll-
lot of disclaimers.
Well, the HR video has got a lot of problems. They'll probably cite a lot of these podcasts as certain problems. we're pretty, but we'll hire Wade for that. All right, man. Take care, Wade. We love you, man.
All right, love you too. And thanks for
It's
having
great
me.
meeting you, brother.
All right,
Great meeting you.
Believe in the funk, y'all. All right, that guy was an asshole. Who booked him? I'm just kidding. He was a sweetheart.
I love that guy. I can't wait to watch some of his stuff, man.
I want him. I want to be his friend. He reminded me of Smiley a little bit.
I
He's
thought
a
he was Smiley for a minute.
Yes, I thought that was Milton.
Are you saying they all look alike?
No, I have black
How dare
friends.
you.
You asshole.
Look at Tracy.
He just smiled and he looked like smiling.
No, you're digging that hole deeper, buddy.
Oh man,
Just be
you've
quiet.
ruined this.
Just be quiet.
You're getting canceled.
So
No, that guy was great, and I'm really happy that when I was expecting that when I was thinking about this podcast earlier, I was just like, okay, guy out of Chicago training to wrestle. I was like, I'm going to ask him who his trainer is. He's going to say nobody, and then he busts out with one of probably the premier trainers in Chicago. I was like, oh shit, that's Steve Boz is a professional, man. So I was like, that kid's on the right track, man.
So is Steve Boz one of those guys that takes these kids' money, or does he do
No. Steve Boz. A lot of people back out of his training because he is probably the most cardiovascular trainer. Like he gets you in shape. You know, he doesn't want you just let you get in the ring and bump around. You got to be in shape.
Does he shoot on people and stuff, or is he?
No. He's a real sweet guy. But if you met him, you'd be like, he does kind of look like Shawn Michaels and Bon Jovi, but he like a buff Bon Jovi, I guess. But
Buff Jovi?
Yeah. But no, if you guys look him up, I mean, you'll see what I mean. He looks like Shawn Michaels. He looks like a cut Chase Stevens. Is what he look, but dude's probably.
He looks like a tall Luke Walker. He looks like a hairy Funkmaster V. You know, he looks like an Asian Chinese guy. You know what I'm talking about? What are you talking about? He looks like one of them women with boobs. You ever seen one of them? You make no sense.
Guess what?
What?
I have not broken down and gotten any views pods all week.
What's that? Oh, the smoking?
The vape things.
Why not? Are you poor, or is it a conscious decision?
It's both, but mostly conscious decision.
Beautiful. Well, good for you.
So,
and Luke's over there. My wife loses an eyeball last year to smoking. He's over there smoking 5 cigarettes during the whole damn show. He don't give a shit. Nothing will happen to me. I'm Luke Walker.
Why don't you keep drinking that Diet Coke, buddy?
I am, because if I drank Coke, my heart would stop. I can't drink it. But anyway, this turned awfully angry. I don't know why. Sheena, thank you for coming tonight.
You're welcome.
You saved the
Missed
show
you
there.
guys.
You look. It was weird because you switched views, like how you on your like. I think it's when he cut out. You like went to a different view, but you look absolutely fantastic. You look almost like a portrait right now.
I do.
Yes, it's so weird.
Well, thank you. I'm so freaking tired. I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning every day. And I'm like, I'm over here just.
unlike Amber, who couldn't even put a little bit of blush on, maybe.
Man,
you leave my Amber alone.
Everybody's beautiful.
I look fantastic.
You do.
So
Don't blink. Don't blink when you say that. Say it again.
I'm juicy.
All right, there you go. We're going to end on that note. I'm juicy.
Tracy's waiting. Hello.
Oh, you said juicy.
Say you're juicy.
What?
Say you're juicy. Look into the camera. Say you're juicy. Win the show.
I'm moist.
Ew.